Look, we ain't come this far, whoa, just to come this far, no. We ain't come this far, whoa, just to come this far, no. We ain't come this far, whoa, just to come this far, no. We ain't come this far, whoa, just to come this far, no.
Waitin, Louisiana. I say I woke up feeling blessed, ayy, diamonds on my neck, ayy, I didn't come to party.
What is up, Clemson Nation? Guys, we're back. We're back. Fourth time in 5 years in the national championship game. Y'all realize that most fan bases dream of making the playoff just once, much less appearing in 4 national championships in 5 years. And, you know, Clemson fans, they're spoiled. But I'll tell you what, I cherish every single one of these playoff games. And it's really, with playing in 4 and 5 years, I mean, it's like a Christmas every year. You know, it's that game that you get so hyped for. Doesn't matter how many times you go, it's that one event. It's that one time a year that you just get so hyped because you're playing for so much in front of such a big crowd on such a large stage. And even though Clemson fans are going broke paying for all these playoff appearances all over the United States, that sense of just pure excitement is never going to get old, no matter how many times we make it. You never know when the last time will be. So you got to cherish every one. So, how we got here. Absolutely great game against Ohio State. I told y'all that Clemson and Ohio State were even. They were about even, and it turned out to be true. Just an absolutely physical game. That was the most physical game since the Alabama game in 2016. And if y'all watched that, man, that was just a massively hard-hitting game. Both offenses still scored a good bit, but the hitting that game was ridiculous. We saw that again in this Ohio State game. People are going to talk about the controversial call. It was a little controversial in real time. It was 1 second. It was 1 second. It wasn't extremely controversial. And even if they scored there, who knows what would have happened? It would have changed the whole complexion, the way Clemson would have played. So you never know. But Ohio State, you lost the game because of turnovers and because you couldn't score in the red zone. And guess what? Venables never lets that happen, no matter who you are. Ask Alabama last year. Ask Notre Dame last year. All these huge, every time we play a top 10 team in the regular season, we didn't get to this year, but every time we do, what happens? They get stuffed in the red zone. It's just what we do, and you couldn't overcome it. You did against all those Big Ten teams, but you couldn't against Clemson. And that's the main reason you lost, along with the pure will of Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. And as we move into this game, in Baton Rouge's backyard down there in New Orleans, with LSU somehow managing to, I guess they only try when they're going to be playing in the Superdome in the national championship, because that's just a crazy stat. That's just a crazy stat that their last 3 and this one obviously are in Louisiana. And obviously it's a huge home crowd advantage, but they're 2-1 in those games, got absolutely blanked and embarrassed against Alabama in that controversial matchup, which shouldn't have occurred. But this year's LSU team, as everybody knows, offensive juggernaut. Brady's done a great job in what looks like it might be his only year. LSU, if you don't win it this year, you done. You done. And Bam is right back on top of that conference, because you know it ain't going to beat Georgia. But Brady's done an amazing job of making an average quarterback like Burrow, who I have a lot of respect for, enjoy watching him play, but he's an average quarterback. Brady and this extremely talented wide receiver unit have made him look like Tom Brady, when in fact, you know, he's good. He's definitely improved, but he's not going to be a great NFL quarterback, and that's just a fact. But obviously, there's a lot of things Clemson and Brent Venables is going to have to do to slow them down, and if anybody can do it, y'all know it's going to be Brent Venables. I think he's proved that year after year. And what LSU likes to do is those quick passes across the middle. They don't substitute. They keep the pace up. And so I'm sure Venables has been locked away in his room doing tons of research, what scheme he wants to use. Obviously, we're not going to be able to sub a lot. He's not going to be able to go in and call the play-ins. We saw, like against South Carolina last year, that was a problem. Since then, it hasn't been. So I think Venables will have this figured out. It's still going to be a huge challenge. But I'll tell you what, the Clemson offense and the LSU offense are pretty close. They're pretty close. And it's not like LSU is playing a bunch of great defenses, because very few of those exist in the SEC these days. The best teams in the SEC are offensive-minded. And when they did play the best defense in the SEC in Georgia, Georgia has no offense. So if you can't keep the ball on offense and you're constantly turning the ball over, it doesn't matter how good your defense is, you're going to get a lot of points put on you. So they haven't played a complete team yet. Clemson will be complete. Ohio State was in the same boat. And look what happened. Clemson is by far the best team LSU's played, the most complete team. Alabama had a great offense, but they didn't have a good defense. Clemson's defense is a good bit better than Alabama, as you guys know. And the Clemson offense and the LSU offense I'll put LSU a little higher there. It's like this. And then the Clemson defense and the LSU defense are like this, with Clemson up here. So obviously, as y'all know, defense wins championships, and there's only been one exception in the NFL or college. I don't know if y'all seen that stat, but defense always wins this matchup. And especially if that defense has just as elite of an offense. The fact that LSU is a favorite at all is because they got to play half of a Big 12 defense in the semifinals. It was a joke. It was a joke. With all the suspensions, Oklahoma had no shot. They wouldn't have beat Texas on that day. They would have had a close game against Wake Forest. By the way, funny, Georgia's having to go into Wake Forest to get quarterbacks. Y'all don't understand, man. The ACC, it's not a good conference this year, but they got some offenses. The ACC has some offenses. Defenses are tragic, but they have some offenses. So, LSU's defense is going to get molested, going to get just run over by this offense. They're not going to have any response for Etienne, and y'all know Etienne's pissed. Y'all know Etienne's pissed. He's been waiting for this since 2017 when he got shut down by that great Alabama defense. Y'all don't have that. Y'all ain't even got close to that. And y'all saw what he did against a much better defense. And I still believe LSU is, in my opinion, the third best team. And they're all pretty close, 1, 2, and 3. But I still believe Ohio State's better than LSU, and they're by far a more complete team. And if Etienne could do that to Ohio State, what do you think he's going to do on those short passes? And he'll be able to run on LSU too. What do y'all think he's going to do to you? I guarantee he has at least 150 yards of total yards in his last game in Clemson. Guarantee it. And you already know what Trevor Lawrence can do when he's clicking, and he's clicking. Boy, he's clicking. So I don't expect it, but I would not be surprised to see Clemson reach 50 in this game. LSU can put up some points and will put up some points against us. I mean, that's just going to be the way it is. It's similar to last year in Alabama, and y'all know Alabama moved the ball in Clemson, but the red zone defense, I'm telling y'all, that Brent Venables red zone defense, y'all saw what happened. And it could happen again. Y'all saw it against Ohio State. No touchdowns in the red zone. And there's no reason it's not going to happen against LSU. So LSU really has the bigger challenge here than Clemson. Obviously, still a huge challenge for Clemson. You're playing in the national championship against one of the best offenses. I mean, it's still one of the best statistic offenses ever for college football. So I just think that Clemson's offense, on top of the best defensive coordinator in the country and the best defense in the country, will find a way to win this one. And I'll give my final prediction here, score prediction for Monday night, to be Clemson 41, LSU 34. So it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game. Clemson's got too much for LSU, and both teams really want it. And Clemson still gets to play that underdog card. So y'all know what happens when that happens. So I just want to get on here and talk about this game a little bit, get my prediction in, and just so ready for what I think will be. It's going to be hard to top 2016 game and even the 2015 game as far as excitement. Those were two great national championships. But I expect this one to be even better. I expect it to be even better than that Ohio State game, and it's going to be a classic. And the Tigers are going to be adding another pennant to my wall, as well as another trophy to the trophy case. Go Tigers! Beat the Bayou Bengals. The copycats. Y'all remember LSU stole Death Valley after playing Clemson in 1959. And guess what? You about to move to 0-2 against Dabo Swinney. Go Tigers.